The Lady of the Lake, her arm clad in the purest shimmering samite, raised aloft the magic sword Buttercup, signifying that I, Mark the First, should be King Mark the First, intergalactic ruler of all I survey. So in fact, she didn't just give me a sword, she gave me a whole cutlery set. So I've got not just Buttercup the magic sword, but I've got a knife I call Petunia, got another knife that I wear around my neck on a regular basis. I call this one Begonia, right? All kinds of names, and it's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PorcFest 2015 Roast of Market! Woo! Everyone's heard of this egocentric narcissist who ran for Congress. Hide your women, hide your kids, and plug your ears for the next hour. Here he is, the unfamous Adam Kokesh.
All right, give it up one more time for Murdoch Pisgatti of Come and Take It, Texas. If it wasn't for a lot of luck and circumstance and that silly haircut of yours, you'd be up here instead of me. So is everybody enjoying PorcFest this year? But what kind of PorcFest would it have been without a roast? What kind of movement is this if we can't laugh at ourselves? So we're gonna get all the most ridiculous libertarian losers onto one stage tonight so the rest of you can feel better about yourselves. Now it's really, every year that the Free State puts this on, it gets better and better, and it's really awesome to see how an event like this brings people together. And bringing people together is critical to building a free society. So if you really want to be on the cutting edge of activism, you got to join the greatest civil disobedience team in the world in Keene, New Hampshire. Any fans of civil disobedience in Keene? Come on. That wasn't a joke. I mean, I love those guys. And you know, it's amazing because the greatest minds of our movement have come together in Keene. Oh shit, that wasn't a joke. The greatest minds of our movement have come together in Keene, New Hampshire, and they've decided that the quickest way to end the state is feeding parking meters and making chalk drawings on the sidewalk. You should be happy to know that thanks to all of the men who have moved here, a libertarian circle jerk is never more than an arm's reach away. Now, I think a roast is especially important for this community in particular because we tend to take ourselves too seriously, except at PorcFest. Now, it's really important to remember that no one in this movement is famous enough to have an ego about it. But somehow, we really had a hard time choosing our roasters amongst all the great libertarian egos. I know it's hard to be humble when you're right about everything, but that doesn't apply to our panel of roasters tonight. So without further ado, you might know our first roaster as the Russian girl who moved to Canada and does a great YouTube channel known as Brave the World, but you might also know her as the wannabe Ayn Rand. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Julia Toriansky. Our next roaster is best known for hanging on Mark's nuts as part of the Free Talk Live crew. Apparently you can make a living doing that these days. But he also hosts the School Sucks podcast. So give it up for Brett Venat. Now, if you came to PorcFest and you don't have money to burn, you probably don't know our next roaster. This descendant of one of the original Federal Reserve banksters has been creeping around the movement, pitching a new get-rich-quick scheme every month. Give it up for Joby Weeks. Now, even though our next roaster is running for president in 2016, you still haven't heard of him. So please give a warm welcome to the head of Free Press Publications, Daryl Perry. If you wake up at PorcFest next to someone whose name you don't know, it's probably our next roaster. Give it up for objectivist girl Lauren Rumpler. Now, we have one seat left open, and I know what you're thinking. What a great panel of roasters. These people are so pathetic that even an idiot could come up with great jokes about them. But I've got one more for you. She is so easy to make fun of. The Greg Giraldo of PorcFest roasts. No PorcFest roast would be complete without the queen, the Free State Project president. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Carla Garrick. And now for the man of the hour, Mark Edge, co-host of Free Talk Live. Obviously, Mark is very committed to the cause. He's also living proof that sucking off Ian is not enough to make you famous. But he's so committed, really, that he's always looking for new techniques, new ways to improve his communication skills. Are there any fans of nonviolent communication here? Catching on in the movement? Yeah! Excellent. So Mark has really become quite the NBC guru and has used his skills on air to great effect. So if you would, without further ado, roll tape, please.
I said it's not an activist case. I didn't say Rich Paul wasn't an activist. I know you love activists so much that no one can say anything that even sounds remotely close.
When you don't take a plea
shut your
deal.
damn mouth. I would let you speak the whole way through. Yeah, that's right. You little
That's
bitch
right.
ass motherfucker.
Oh, I can't believe you just said that. You are getting dumped out there, sir. Very unprofessional. Very unprofessional. You need to... Wow. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for the most underrated pillar of the Free State Project community, Mark Edge.
The extra joke there is underneath that peach shirt is a Love Not War t-shirt. I was on Free Talk Live and doing a little bit, and my co-host Ian and another co-host Derek J found something I said amusing. I was handing out some edict, some prescription for behavior. So Derek J brought out some crown he had, and he placed the crown on my head and kingly raiment across my shoulders, and I realized this is really right for me. I do, in fact, self-identify as a king. It was a moment of clarity for me.
All right, well, we're gonna get to our first roaster now. Julia Turiansky was a young girl when her parents moved from Russia to Canada. At least that's what she tells people. And if you've heard her laugh, I know you know that I owe you an apology for bringing her to a comedy event Don't worry, we'll take the microphone away from her after this. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Julia Turiansky of Brave the New World. Brave the World.
Hello. So there's been a reoccurring theme for the freedom movement males this year. They love to complain about how there's a lack of women in this community. Why can't I just find a girl who knows what the nap is? Why can't I find a girl that's on my philosophical level? Have you tried looking outside of Facebook arguments? Have you tried looking a woman directly into the eyes? Have you tried not living out of a caravan? Or worse, out of a backpack. Speaking of Luke Rudowski, how many of you guys have had the unfortunate displeasure to meet a man called Joe B. Weeks? You may recognize him from his plastered, consistent, shit-eating grin. And you may also know him for pitching loads of scams. Joby, not everyone has an inheritance to piss away. Please stop it.
Oh! I wish I had one.
Brett, I'm sorry. I don't know. I have no idea who you are. But maybe I'll get to know you later. If Lauren hasn't gotten to you first. It's too late. If you already met Lauren, it may have gone something like this. Hi, I'm Objectivist Girl. Really nice to meet you. Oh my God, your hand is so soft. Do you want to go back to my room with me? Oh my God, awesome. Can my boyfriend come? Oh, can my girlfriend come too? Great. Can my boyfriend's boyfriend come? Can my girlfriend's boyfriend come? I love you. You're the most beautiful person. Mark, there's an interesting fact that most people probably don't know about you. Mark pays a ludicrous amount of money every year to a company that has ensured him that upon his death, he will be frozen. And then resurrected in the future.
You don't want a brain like mine wasted.
Mark, I know you want to run the show and be the king and get rid of Ian, but is this the most efficient way of doing it?
Oh, I think he'll beat me to death.
And just so you know, you're going to the future, not the past, so you might want to change.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Julia Turiansky. Our next roaster is someone you've probably never heard of. Wait a second, I'm sorry, you've definitely never heard of him. He's been single for a long time, so please give a very warm welcome to Brett Vinod.
Hey everybody, I'm Brett. It seems like there's a lot of people here who don't know who I am, so I have a website called schoolsucksproject.com. A priest and a rabbi are walking down the street. They come across a boy. The priest looks at the rabbi and says, "Hey, we should totally fuck that boy." The rabbi looks back at him and says, "Totally fuck him out of what?" So I'm really pissed that Taryn Lupo isn't up here, by the way. Taryn was supposed to be up here. Now, one of the reasons why I had such a good time at the roast that we did of Chris Lawless in 2012 is, like, as you can see, I'm a pretty conservative and polite man.
You mean
nice
pretty.
And, you know, I don't do a lot of, like, toilety humor. So all of my jokes that I was performing were actually written by this guy who has a very toilety sense of humor named Jamie Crane. Does anybody remember who Jamie Crane is? Jamie used to have a show called Wheels Off Liberty. And it was an interesting combination of my face doing his material. So it worked out really well. And, you know, Jamie's from Oklahoma. He's a real hick, but he's like my brother from another mother and her brother. I care about Jamie a lot. So anyway, suddenly, the day that, like 2 hours after Adam asked me to do the roast, I get a text from Jamie Crane. And it's like, dude, how's PorcFest going? And I said, Jamie, your timing is perfect. There's a roast tonight. I need Taryn Lupo jokes, your favorite thing in the world to make. So this is what he sent me. He said, Taryn is dating a girl named Katie. Or as we all call her, his better 1/5. Daryl Perry is here. I love Daryl. And he is the poster boy for the Free State motto, we will accept anyone.
I love you, Brett.
And hi, Carla. You know, how many of you out there, is this your first time at PorcFest? All right. Right now, we're dealing with this troubling statistic that 94% of libertarians are white. But Carla Gericke is our president, okay? She is from South Africa. She learned a thing or two while she was there, and we are really confident that in a couple of years, we can have it up to 98%. That's an apartheid joke. Are you guys having a good time?
I can't remember my last apartheid joke.
And there's Lauren Rumpler.
Yeah, Brett?
Look at her, she's so sweet. I don't know Lauren that well. We're getting to know each other. She actually just did some voiceover work for School Sucks. And
Voiceover work.
Is that what we're calling it, Brett?
she just seems so innocent to me, and I really appreciate that. But there's part of me, honestly, since we can all be honest here, that's like, I would fuck the shit out of her. But then there's this other part of me that's like, I wonder if I could fuck the annoying out of her.
You can't.
Either way, folks, Lauren wins. And then Joby. How could you roast Joby Weeks? He's the nicest man. I'm a guest. I feel wrong doing it. I'm a guest at his house right now. And he's been so encouraging and so supportive and so fun to spend time with. But I'll tell you, if we could get Joby into like a middle school level life skills class, he would be fucking unstoppable. And I say this because over the course of the week, I watched him almost start 2 fires cooking simple breakfast foods and lead a caravan of cars into a swamp. So if you're out, is anyone out there an occupational therapist who has experience dealing with these issues? Because I think in 2 years, this guy could rule the world if we can correct those problems. Thank you very much. Finally, we come to Mark. So excited for Mark. Now, I was there. You might have seen me in that video. It was brief, and there was a lot of other action, so maybe you didn't notice me in the middle. But while all that was happening, you can kind of see my body contract, and then I start to shrink in an effort to protect my fragile emotions from those very difficult surroundings. As Mark's spittle rains down upon me. On Free Talk Live, little production inside stuff here, they use these Electro Voice RE27 microphones that are not very sensitive. You got to be really right up on them for them to pick up your voice properly. But this old radio pro knows after Ian cut his mic off, he knew exactly how loud he had to scream the very obscenities that could get them removed from radio stations through that room to be heard on the air. And I just want to say, I really admired your command of that situation. And then I wanted to, so the thing about Ian, like, everyone calls it Mark's freakout. Mark goes bananas. Mark's meltdown. Did I already say Ian's instigation? Did I already do that joke? No one ever calls it Ian's instigation. Ian is an instigator. I wanted to move from jokes about Ian to jokes about Ian's girlfriend. But she goes to bed at 8 o'clock. Happens to the best of us, Ian. Thanks, everybody.
Now, you might have seen her open carrying here at PorcFest with a hatchet. No, it's not for self-defense. That's ridiculous. No one carries a hatchet for self-defense.
Juggalos.
I do. You want to go up against me, Adam?
No, I don't, because I know that hatchet is actually for adding to her collection of cut-off genitalia. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for objectivist girl Lauren Rumpler.
I gotta lower this because I'm short. So, all right. So, I'm a little hoarse. It's been pretty busy here. I don't know if you heard, but it's been a busy weekend for me.
We heard.
You know the game Who's the Fed? I finally figured it out. I can't think of a bigger welfare queen than Adam Kokesh. I mean, this guy's so desperate for free meals that he dances to get arrested. It's okay, though. He's found someone who's willing to live in his box with him. And Adam, because you stole my joke, I'm adding an extra one. Your girlfriend likes me better than you. She approved that joke, by the way. By the way, Daryl, you gotta tell me, how does polyamory work when you can't even get one girl to sleep with you? It's okay, Daryl. I still love you. No, not that kind of love. I still won't sleep with you. And hey, Brett, I know you want to fuck me. But unless you give up that podcast, I just can't even. I don't date men who still are working on popularity in high school. And Mark, finally Mark, you know I love you, but look where you hang out. Keen is basically a reenactment of Peter Pan with Ian as their leader. Do you really think you can pass as a lost boy? You're old, dude. Grow up. By the way, Mark, you've done so much for me. I bought you a present. anger management classes so you can keep your radio show. Actually, it's a favor to the movement. Nobody wants to listen to Ian Freeman for 3 hours by himself. But seriously, Mark, thanks for being gullible and horny enough to put me on your radio show. By the way, I love that the biggest joke about me is my reputation for sleeping with people. Maybe instead of making fun of me, you should take a class, because I'm a fucking baller.
All right, come on, ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Objectivist Girl Lauren Rumpler. Now I know this next one is tough. What can I say about Daryl Perry that hasn't been said? He's obviously the biggest target on the stage. Give it up for the mastermind behind Free Press Publications and Carla's secret plan to get more women to move to New Hampshire, Daryl Perry.
So I'm actually dressed up like how Mark normally dresses, with the Love Not War shirt and the crown.
And a
this
dress.
one made out of duct tape.
And an actual dress.
So it's good to be here at Sausage Fest. I mean, PorcFest. I heard that originally we were supposed to roast Ernest Hancock. I guess that didn't work out because he never lets anybody else talk. Jamie Crane's puppet is here. How are you, Brett? You know, this guy hosts the School Sucks podcast. The only reason you think that school sucks is because you couldn't make it as a teacher.
True.
Carla Garrick's here. You know, if I didn't know any better, I'd think you were a robot from Futurama. Because they're powered by alcohol. Julia Taransky, the blonde Russian seductress. We should make a video together later. I'll give you just the tip. Speaking of just the tip, Lauren Rumpler, you know I love you. Can I join your harem?
I won't sleep with you, Daryl. Don't try.
Seriously though, if you had as many pricks sticking out of you as you've had stuck in you, you would actually look like a fucking porcupine. Burn! And speaking of fucking porcupines, little known fact, the male porcupine will stand on his hind legs and piss on the female before sex. I hear Adam Kokesh does the same thing. And now for the man of the hour, King Mark, the first of his name, fucker of pigs, seller of ads, king of Edgingtonia, and the intergalactic ruler of all he surveys. Aren't you a little old for dress up and pretend? As the Emperor of Anarchy, I do not recognize your royal claims, sir. Now, for anyone who doesn't listen to Free Talk Live, you might not know that Mark has another name. Not Manwich, that name has been long since retired. Actually, Big Daddy Rhino Schwanz. Or, as I prefer to call you, you little bitch-ass motherfucker!
Carla. We saved the worst for last. Maybe we should have put you first. Are you sure you're sober enough to do this? You know, as president of the Free State Project, Carla puts in countless hours doing the hard labor that makes this possible. I mean, things that other people just aren't willing to do. There are 2 women on this stage I've made out with, and then there's Carla Garrett.
I'm a little confused about all the crowns here tonight because, we really know there's only one person who has been given a crown by the community as opposed to claiming a crown for themselves. I'm a little confused because I think Mark must have gone to a Burger King earlier at the drive-thru and he wanted to order a manwich with a side of fries. So, Ian declined to be part of this tonight. I heard the reason was because Chris Hansen wasn't here to introduce him. So I do have a lot of respect for Mark because, it can't be easy working with someone like Ian, right? Because getting that bitch-ass motherfucker to admit he's wrong about anything is hard, but it's not as hard as getting a paycheck from Adam Kokesh. So I was hoping more people would be a little meaner about Mark tonight, because then I was gonna make him feel good, because I wanted to say, hey Mark, I don't know why everyone's being so mean to you. It's not like you killed anyone.
I would have been meaner, but I didn't want him to kill me in my sleep.
So I love PorcFest, and I love everyone who comes, and just sort of seeing, people will be like, why do you work so hard to bring out CNN or Vice or Maxim or all the guys, Bloomberg? All these people are here this week. And it's because I want more people to know about the Free State Project, right? It's really, for us, it's just a numbers game. The more people who know, we can certainly find 20,000 cool fucking people to come do this. There are lots of eccentric and weirdos because we accept them.
Excellent.
So, sort of to celebrate this concept of same-sex marriage, I spent some time this afternoon researching, and Mark, I'm very happy to tell you that I found the phone number of your prison bitch.
Memories, huh, buddy?
She was just being nice.
Oh, it actually says, I love you, thank you for all you do.
It does. It's a very nice note. I'm keeping it.
So with that, I am out. I would like to say I stayed sober just in honor of doing this. And Mark, truly, really from the bottom of our heart, it ain't easy and keen for the sane people. Keep plugging away, but you know what? You gotta lose the costume because that just seems crazy.
Give it up one more time for the president of the Free State Project, Carla Garrett. So without further ado, I give you our third choice for someone to roast this year, Mark Edge.
Thank you. King Mark I, intergalactic ruler of all I survey.
Usurper.
What's that?
Usurper.
Yeah, you're like swallowing the mic. Back off of it a little bit. My joke for Daryl, he lives in a van. No, that's the joke. He lives in a van. No, seriously.
It's not a bus.
If you're friends with him on Facebook, you get to hear him sort of cry about, oh, I haven't got a girlfriend. Please, for God's sakes, ladies, somebody take a bullet for the team. Please. He's a nice guy. He stayed out at my house while I was away down in Florida vacationing. He cleaned up real nice. He'll make somebody a great wife. Come on, ladies. Carla, I'm glad your voice is better than it was yesterday. It seems like you've been treating it with alcohol. No, seriously, thank you so much for the way you sort of straddle the way you like Keen and dislike Keen. It makes it so much easier to make a point with those people. Kokesh, I saw Lauren Rumpler kissing your girlfriend.
No, that actually happened.
No, I know, that's it. It's funny though. So I was asking people what I'm going to do as far as making jokes about Joby, and people were giving me a little bit of information. First thing they said is he's rich, and I'm like, I took one look at his mug and his hot wife, and I figured that out. I love the vegetarian chili. It was excellent. Hey, Brett. So you got the idea for your show from listening to Free Talk Live, and then you come on, you swipe as many listeners as you can get, and then you leave. Anything else I can do for you? Julia, how did the Russian Liberty gal end up not being called Objectivist Girl? I don't get it. It seems like a layup. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you so much. Thanks, Adam Kokesh, for putting this together. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Mark Edge. Thank you for being such a great sport and putting up with all these losers tonight. Give it up one more time for our panel of roasters. Finally, thank you all for coming and playing along by pretending that any of us are even worth making fun of. We couldn't do what we do without you. And if you're not coming outside to get a free book or sign my trailer, get home to your tents safely and stop making the movement look bad. Good night.